Just to start off with, how different is it to lead the pack rather than to be chasing it?
Did you say difficult?
How different is it?
Oh,
Different a challenge is it? Different pressures and being out in front rather than trying to close the gap?
to be honest, nothing different. There's no difference into what we want to do. I've said it since we came into the split is that the only focus we have is in our performance, is in our games, and like we said, like we have this ambition and goal to win the rest of the games, and it hasn't changed. So even if it's the top of the league or wherever in the position, that's going to be our aim, no matter what, like whatever position we have. So there's no difference at all.
And do you think, I know you're saying your ambitions haven't changed, the philosophy was always to get between now and the end of the season and not lose a game, but do you think there's a different pressure when you're at the front?
No, not really. I think it's the choice that you do. Like even you think about like, oh, there's a pressure, but for us it's not going to change. Like our aim and the goal is still the same. It's about focusing on our performance and doing the best we can for every game, and that hasn't changed. And if you as a team like to chase, that's like that's their choice. But I think for us, it's just about focusing on our performance and what we can do. I feel no extra pressure.
Hearts had beaten Rangers on Wednesday night, that they'll be fairly formidable opponents potentially on Sunday.
Yeah, like I feel all the games in the split is very, very hard. I think if you look back at our games at Hips, like Hips did an amazing job to try to hurt us, and obviously we created some chances that we should have scored on, but it was a pretty, like it could have been different result as well. So we're not gonna take any game easy, and obviously Hearts did an amazing job of getting those 3 points against Rangers, but that doesn't change the focus. It's gonna be again about us and our performance, and then whatever happens, it's just what we can control. We can't control anything else.
I know you're aware of the fact that you could make history by being the first manager to deliver a title to the women's team, but also no team in the country has had a male title winning team as well as a female title winning team at the same time.
Yeah, it's an amazing story if that can be possible. But for me, it also comes to like we can be the squad, the team that did it. I think that's the most important is that the girls also feel that it's like they can write history. It's about us in general, like as a team, but also as a club. Like obviously, since I came here, I've said that I understand what Celtic is about, and that's the challenge that I want to be a part of. So like I said, nothing has changed really. Like I think, and I really hope that the girls feels the same like me. Is we just focus on ourselves and what we can do, and hopefully it will be a good ending.
Do you feel as though the experience of last season, I know you weren't here last term, but the experience of coming so close and really taking it to those final seconds of the campaign, did that experience help them going into this season and going in now to another pretty fraught run in potentially?
That's a hard question you're asking me. I have no idea. The only thing that I know is what I brought into the team, and that's the only thing that I've been focused on. Then, if it has something to do with last season or not, like I can't answer that. But I think that has been a change since I came here. But I don't know if that has anything to do what's been in the past, and I can't answer that question.
What's the mood been like in the dressing room? Have you noticed a little bit of difference this week after the game on Wednesday night? Not because we went top of the league, but because you're going to be playing in paradise.
The training today was really fun, I thought. The girls were happy. It was some competition on the training, and I think they're just gonna enjoy the moment of playing at Paradise. For like all the players, it's gonna be a special feeling. I don't think it's only about like obviously we're Celtic and we're gonna enjoy the moment, but I think everybody wants to play here, like our opponents as well. So it's gonna be a really big special moment, but like I said, I think it all comes down to even if it's a big special moment, we also need to make sure that we have a special moment together of performing well and doing a great performance in front of our fans.
The girls who were there last season who played, are they talking to the other players who are new, and are they quite excited about it as well?
I think that's something you can ask our players. You'll soon have a player here who can talk about it.
Okay. There was an injury to Amy Gallagher the other night. How's Amy?
Amy is, I think she's pretty well, but she has had a, I don't know how to say this, but it's like a dead leg, but on her gluteus maximus. So it's gonna take some time for her to, you know, get back into where she is, but it's not a big injury. It's just something that we just need to wait out.
Lucy coming back is giving the squad, some of the team, something else. And is there news on Hannah Kerner? I think she might be quite close to returning as well. Very good player.
Yeah, she like, obviously when you talked about Lucy, like she's been doing great. And like you said as well, like Hannah Kerner is back in the city, and she has some things that she needs to do first before coming back to play in the team. But she looks good. Luana is also getting back into the shape and more with the ball, so that's also a good sign for us. It just feels like we're getting new signings in, just because I haven't seen them play as well. So it's a good thing to have as a coach.
Brendan was talking last week about momentum and says that Celtic come alive at this time of the season. Do you feel that too?
Yeah, I feel like the girls, like obviously my first 2 games were not the best, but after that I think we've been alive all the time, and like everybody has been saying, like we have the momentum going on, but I think it comes from us just focusing on ourselves and our performance and how we train. And that's the performance we've been showing in games as well. But I agree with Brendan. I think hopefully we still keep alive and work what we've been working on.
In terms of the fans that are coming along, and maybe the ones that are still thinking about coming along, what's your message to them?
I've been telling many messages now in the media. I feel like the only thing that I'm saying is like, do it for the girls, do it for the players, show them the support of coming, because like you said, it will be amazing to write history as a club, to be the first team that wins the league, like both with the men's and the women. So if that's not motivating enough, then I don't know what it is.
I just wanted to ask about the schedule. It's obviously really busy now, with Wednesday games and things, and the cup game coming up as well. How are you managing that and adapting any routines in training to make sure that the players are staying fresh and fit at this crucial stage of the season?
The only thing that I do is adapting the training for what we have in front of us. So that's an easy answer, adapting the load of the players and everything. So I'm just adapting and being flexible.
Just on that note as well, we've seen a little bit of rotation in the squad for the last few games. We've seen some changes. Is that part of keeping everything fresh until the end of the season as well? And do you already have an idea of who might be starting on Sunday?
Yeah, I think I have a clear idea of how we're going to start and how we're going to play. But also the rotation is not only because of rotation, but it's also because I believe that they can do well. So that's the easy answer of doing it. I've said it 100 times as well before, is that we have a great squad, we have a great team, and that's something that's very nice to see. Like, you've seen that we've done a lot of changes during the game as well. So that's something that we need to, keep building on.
Yeah, just on that as well, it feels like the front three are really starting to click together, whoever's playing, and that sort of Murphy Agnew is becoming more important in that role as well, to be able to kind of come in and have an impact on games. Is that something you've seen and you've been specifically working on in training?
Yeah, I don't know if I've been doing something special about that. It's more about that, I think, now when you said Agnew, Murphy has been doing it really good, and I think her confidence is high, and that's something that she's been doing by herself. So, the plays that you see on the pitch is is pretty much like who they are. So I don't think it has a lot of to do with my decisions or what I do in training. But I hope that the players feels that, you know, like if you perform well in training and you look confident that you'll get the chance. So I think it's more about Murphy doing a great job.
Great. Just finally from me, obviously it's an exciting place to play, Celtic Park, but it's a bigger pitch. Do you think tactically and kind of strategically going into the game, that affects the way that you're going to set up? And do you think it plays into our hands as an advantage?
I think no matter what we've been doing lately, like I think, for example, when we played against against Partick at Peters Hill, we played in a, you know, narrow, small pitch and we did pretty good. And then when we play on bigger pitches, also suits us because, you know, it gives us more space and time. But Hearts is also a very good like football team. They can play football. We know that. So I think it's just going to be a good advantage for both of the teams. Hopefully we have a big group of supporters. That's going to be the biggest advantage for us.
You talked about adapting things in training depending on who you're playing. You adapt it depending on the surface you're playing on at the weekend.
I would say that what I do is adapting maybe the load on the player. Like if today we trained on grass, so it's more about like even if some players maybe didn't play full minutes, they don't like do at full training because of the change of the surface. So I'm just very adaptable and flexible, I would say. So I have a lot of different scenarios that I need to adapt to.
And you had a tough start when you came to Celtic, obviously, against Rangers and Glasgow City. Did you think back then you'd get into this position of being top of the table?
I don't know how to answer that question. I think obviously coming in and having those 2 games and not executing them well, like I said, after those games as well, is what I did was seeing it as a challenge and seeing it as something that we can learn from, and that's something that I really did, is learning from those experiences and doing something good with those experiences. So if I was thinking about sitting in this position, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. The only thing that I was thinking is trying to make the best of the situation and keep going, because I believe in myself and I believe in the team, and that's something that we've been showing since then.
I know you're giving a message to the fans to come along, but for fans who maybe haven't watched women's game, especially since you've come in, what can they expect to see from your team on Sunday?
Well, I would say that we play a pretty attractive football. We play a style of play that makes makes our play look very, really good. I think it's a very entertaining football, especially if you look at Hibs. I thought that it was a bit entertaining football, but not only because, you know, because we created a lot of chances, but it was a bit, you know, trying to force more goals, and then we got some transitions. But we defended and played better in the second half. But overall, I would say just come and enjoy, because I think the girls are doing really well of playing the style of play, but also the most important for me is like give the girls the support that they deserve, because they've been doing so well. So that's the main message. And like I said, we have something really nice to look forward to. And as much as the men's, you know, have the support, if the club can write history together, I think that's something that we should be proud of, and make sure that the girls also feel that support, so we can write history together.